Welcome back on Darkenss. Today I want to propose you a video about the unboxing review about the White Dwarf issue from 87 released by Darkenss for April 2023. This is a White Dwarf that in the cover it's related about the Adeptus Mechanicus. Here it's not bad at all, and we can find something that I don't like inside, that are these ones. I like the inserts because I like these are about the campaign for Age of Sigmar, so it's quite welcome. And this one instead it's about we can say to call them tiles for having something about the boarding patrol for Warhammer 40k. But sincerely I don't like that are in such a way, because sincerely I find that quite problematic when you read the White Dwarf or you kept them out from the White Dwarf, or they give you some not quite good thing. Anyway, this White Dwarf it's not bad, and there are quite a lot of inspiration. I can anticipate you about this. So now we can open this and see the content inside, because it's quite interesting. Here we can see the same cover that we've seen here, but without any writing, and this is coming from the subscription to the White Dwarf, so it's always welcome such type of alternative cover. Remember that you can have this only if you go to subscribe to the White Dwarf, so not mainly it, so pay attention about such. But anyway, you can save money, so it's always choose. Here we can see an article that it's anticipation of what we'll see inside. Then we can find the contents inside that are quite a lot, and then we can begin with the mailing of the readers to the team of the White Dwarf itself. And I would suggest you to see about such, because maybe you can find some news, some things that can be quite interesting, some painting, the scheme that could be nice to see, because there are also those ones. So we can find here, for example, that are this is Horus that I like quite a lot as model, but in a completely different scheme of color that usually has its own. Here we can find this that it's quite nice because the theme and the base itself. Here there is this that has been modifying the part about the arms, we can call these ones, or some type of bases. There are quite a lot of things that are simple but quite interesting. These are related about the Tyrants, and it's quite a peculiar scheme of color, and I think that it's mainly related about that soon we see new Tyrants, but still it's quite nice to see such type, because you can understand that you can really personalize how you want the models, and I quite like. This we had the Tale of 4 Warlords, and here we can see the chosen ones from the ones that we see in the previous number of the White Dwarf. And sincerely we can find some models that I indicated you, for example these. So there are a lot of things that I find them really quite interesting to see, because they are nice to see and see if you want to create something your own. So there are really a lot of nice things, and we can see also other images that are quite nice to take notice, because you can have, for example, some suggestions. You can see some type of things that can be modified or so on. For example, think about this. This it's a Dragon Zombie with the part about this that come from the Orcs part. So it's the Vulcan. It's really quite interesting because you can combine and having a complete different things. Also the wings come from the same set, so you can really have ideas of how to modify. Here it's from the Garden of More, so there are a lot of interesting things that you can personalize, combine and so on to create something completely new. So it's really nice. Also scheme of colors, for example this dwarf with the part of the bluebird. So a lot of interesting things that could be used to create something new, because there is ideas, scheme of colors, themes of the armies themselves and so on that are always amazing. Here about Age of Sigmar, and here we can see so the Horus against the Heresy. That can be nice. Here we have the rules engagement. This is about how to create your battlefield, so how you to dispose your shank feature and so on, and it can be interesting because sincerely it can be nice to see. But sincerely I prefer always to have a central element, a central shank feature at the center of the battlefield to break the line of sight, so that you can play without having the problems about having the what we can call the shooting and so on, magic, and so having a bit better manipulation of the battlefield. But still, remember that even if this is mainly related about Age of Sigmar, you can apply technically on Warhammer 40k without any problem, so pay attention. Here we have the Flashpoint Rondel with a lot of background here that it was amazing to read because it makes you even deeper in the background itself. Here is a part about the campaign that we've seen before. So here is the campaign that we have the related part, and so here we can find the rules. Sincerely, I don't like to play with such rules about Path to Glory and so on, but still it can be really quite awesome to pay attention because there are always nice information and so on. There are amazing artworks always available that I love to see. Here we have the part about the Orc clans, so how it has been modified an army about the Orc clan with the painting and so on. I think that it's always nice to see and so on, because it lets you again to have ideas on how you can create your own ones, or scheme of colors, for example, that could be quite amazing. But there are a lot of interesting things that you can gain from seeing such things, because there are really some little conversion, maybe some scheme of colors, some adaptation with the shank feature around here that can make you realize something that you want for your army. For example, things about such giant, such Sons of Behemoth with such part up here. It's technically simple because it's a combination of things that you have yet ready, but at the end it makes something completely different and personalized, and I love such type of modification. Are the ones that really make you inspired about. Then we have about Warcry, again that I don't play but I like to watch. Here we have about Stat and Son, so here we have the Shink Chameleon, and soon will be released the one about the Seraphon, new book eventually, the preview, because the real book will be released in this summer, and I think that I'll bring you also something about if I'm able to really receive it. So here we can find this with a lot of rules and background also, so it's something that can be worth to read to know a bit about the part related about the background and so on. That can be interesting, and the images are quite nice to create some, to use as a referral at least, and to maybe understand if you are interested about. So for example, here we have this, that it's background that it's really worth to read about. So there are a lot of things here that you can forget it because maybe you are not interested about the rules and so on, but about the background can be really awesome to at least have some referral. And then we can start with the Warhammer 40k. And so here we have the World Eaters against the Imperial Guard, that is really an amazing thing. And here we can find about the Ark of Omen with the Heart of Misery, with a lot of background. If you're interested about Warhammer 40k, I think that there are quite a lot of things to read about such things. So I would suggest you to watch and read eventually, because the images are amazing, but the reading is something that brings you quite a lot of new information about. And then we had the boarding patrol with the new rules adding things. Here we had these that are the temporary barriers, that are these ones that you can eventually cut off and use. So how to use them on here and so on. So new ways to play with. Sincerely, I don't like boarding patrol, but at the same time it's something that it's really quite intriguing, because it's a sort of Space Hulk that it's developed even more. I prefer Space Hulk anyway, because I love that game. But sincerely, this it's something that I suggest you to try. Read eventually some battle report about or some, but use, because it's an amazing thing, and you have to remember that it can give you quite a lot of fun if you're interested about the things that are inside, because anyway, there are a lot of information, a lot of ways to play with and so on. Here I have, for example, one idea about how it's played with the movement and so on, the opposites. It's always nice to see this thing. And then I had this that it's a little about the Rand Angel, and so we can find, for example, the profile of Angron, and you can find information about them with a lot of background. So it's something that it's always nice to read, because there are some things that it's here, and so it's something that it's quite worth. Here we are about how to paint, and the referral that has been brought as referral about painting. Sincerely, I don't like too much Angron itself as miniature, but I can see anything about the composite itself, because it's like should be. And here so we have the painting and the ideas and so on. I think that it's quite nice. And then we had the battle report that it's about, so these two armies that are the Forger Metallica and the Iron Warriors. Here, what I don't like is that 1500 points of rooster, so it means that we see in the next new edition something like this instead of 2000 points like the last ones. It's to see, because technically it can be accepted if you think that you don't have any more, at least for now, pay for the, we can say, the upgrade, the war gear about the Miniatures. But at the same time, I suggest you to read and watch such game, because you can understand if it's a game that you can like or so on. But knowing that soon this will be replaced, it throws a bit. But still, it's a way to see the game played. So it's the At-1 play, but I think that anyway it's quite interesting to read and to have this game shot, because the images are always amazing to watch, for example, because they can give you ideas how to personalize the photos, so to magnify these miniatures or to create some particular situations on. So I find it really quite interesting. Then we have Horus Heresy with new rules and so on that are always welcome. So we have here, for example, some battle plans available that I think that is quite nice. And here we had the Black Arabelli that I always suggest you to give it a try, because you can new authors that you never knew, and it's always nice to see such things. Or maybe you can use such things to learn a bit better the English, or to know better one of your armies or so on, because sometimes something that are real, maybe later you can find published and released on the Black Arabelli itself as book. So there are quite a lot of things to read, and I think that it's always nice to read such things. For example, this is about Gombrindal, and it's always something that you never have enough about, so amazing. Here at the studio, and here we can see something that we see in the next White Dwarf, so it's always nice to see and have some referral. And here we can find that there will be the Herald of Misery, so soon we'll change about Warhammer 40k, the part of background, so it's not bad at all. And here we can find the cover, and I'm quite curious about what will be, because it's Chaos against Blood Angels, so I'm quite interested because there are Blood Angels, so I think that I'll wait quite a lot about such new White Dwarf. So what to say about such White Dwarf? I think that it's really quite interesting, and I like more about the background and the miniatures that are inside, because give me quite a lot of interesting things that I can use as a referral for modification, personalization, eventually features that I can realize and so on. So it's quite nice. Anyway, there are quite a lot of rules, because there are the battle plans about Horus Heresy, Warcry. There is the boarding pattern that it's quite nice anyway. So there are a lot of things, and so I suggest you eventually to think about having such White Dwarf, because it's nice. Still, it's up to you decide if it's worth or not. So, from Dino Mode, it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video, or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again to the next time.